broken heart since the day I was born. Been a little rough around the edges, rotten at the core. So many things to figure out, so much is left behind. Pushing my way against the crowd, they say I've lost my mind. Care, feels like I missed the train. This paranoia taking over, burning through my brain. I hear the whispers in the winds, I throw my head around. Someday I'll spread my wings and fly, and I ain't never coming down. Oh, give me something to ease my worried mind. I get so tired of looking back over my shoulder all the time, all the time. It ain't fair how people stare like I'm from outer space. It's funny how they'll spit you out before they get a taste. So in my head, nobody said that I was born to lose. They could build me up or tear me down, I've got nothing left to prove. So face it, ain't gonna change a single thing. There ain't no use in looking back over my shoulder anyway. Hey, break it down. Allow me to introduce the band to y'all. Over here on bass, we got Mr. Josh Sheridan. Josh, show me a little something, all right? Over here on vocals, we got Miss Holly Rumbarger. And back here on drums, we got Mr. Ethan Mannon. Ethan, go!
Hey, this is Mitchell
And this is Scott
from Hissy Fetus. We have a new 7-inch record out,
This is our first official release for this band.
just in time for National Record Store Day on April 23rd.
So check it out at Marley's Music in Biloxi.
My name is Jessica Downs, originally from the coast. I am a tattoo artist. I've been tattooing for coming up on 17 years. Discovered it while I was in college for art. I was at Ole Miss for my Bachelor's of Fine Arts, and I was originally majoring in animation. That was my big goal, was to go into cartoons. Stop motion animation was my goal, but I also loved the ink and pen kind of animation as well. But while I was in college, I was working part-time at a pet store because I love animals too. And a friend of mine who worked there, he came in one day and said, "Hey, I found a tattoo shop and they're looking for apprentices. Why not make money at art while you're in school for art?" I was like, that's brilliant. That beats cleaning hamster cages all day, every day. So I went in, showed him my portfolio and some of the paintings and drawings I've done. And a couple months later, I picked up my first tattoo machine and tattooed someone and fell in love and been doing it ever since. I'm not gonna lie, for 17 years ago, it was a little bit more difficult for women to get into the tattooing industry. It is a male-dominated industry. It has been for many, many years, and it still is, but it is slowly getting more equal towards men and women both doing tattoos. I see a lot more females coming into the industry now, which it really warms my heart, because it is tough for a woman out there. Even nowadays, it's 2022, and it's still tough in any industry for women. But yeah, it really warms my heart to see that more females are getting into the art form. Well, my very first inspiration for art was my mother. She was always drawing, crafting, doing anything that had to do with art, and my eyes would light up every time I would see her do something creative. And I fell in love with it, so I definitely took after my mom in that, for sure. As I got older, cartoons became my life. Everything cartoons. I loved animation. I loved the happiness, the comedy, the colors, the brightness. That's what really got me into it, like really dove me into artwork.
I feel like because you are so colorful, like yourself, I feel like you are just like almost like a cartoon. Like you just have like a bunch of like happy little things. Like your house is probably just real happy and colorful and everything.
Oh, my entire house is pink from ceiling to floor. My couches, the rugs, the curtains. My TV is pink. Everything is pink.
I really like that. I love that. So you wear pink every day?
Every day. That is my trademark. Pink is the thing. I was at Integrity Tattoo before in Biloxi. It's a great shop with great, great artists. I have nothing negative to say about them. They're all wonderful. They're all very, very talented. Really, the only reason I left and moved to Good Cat is because I feel like the environment there and the shop layout and everything really suited my personal needs more. I dabble in a lot of different art forms. I don't like to really settle on one thing. I like to let my imagination flow. So I do things like sculpting with clay. I love polymer clay. I love making little figures and everything. I do paint with oils. I love oil painting and watercolor paintings. Other crafty things like jewelry making and stuff. That's anything artsy is my thing. I'd say 5 years from now, I still see myself tattooing, obviously. I will never stop tattooing until my hands will not allow me to tattoo anymore. But I think I've thought about opening my own shop before. I'm not really sure if it's my thing. There's a lot that goes into having your own shop. It's very detail oriented. It's very stressful. And I think I like working at other people's shops. It gives me a little bit more freedom to do the travel artist. So I can go guest spot in other places, in other states, and other shops, and learn from different artists. I think what gets me more than anything is some of the requests we get for tattoos. I don't know if, I know not everyone has that artistic mindset. So, it doesn't really flow in their mind the way an artist might see something. So we've had several times someone ask, "Can you cover this name with another name?" And I just take a moment and I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Like, and I have to get out a piece of paper and show them, like, writing over one word is not going to make the other word disappear. And the biggest thing here lately, a very big trend in tattoos lately, is facial tattoos. I think it's from all the newer generation of music. A lot of the newer musicians have facial tattoos, which I think is great. I'm very happy that tattoos are being more open and accepted in this world, whereas just 30, 40 years ago, it was looked down upon. Even in other countries like Japan, you still considered part of the Yakuza if you have tattoos. You know, it's very controversial in other places. So I am happy to see that tattoos are becoming more accepted, widely accepted. But all these younger generation, all these younger kids, freshly 18, want their first tattoo, want a facial tattoo. And we have to stop and say, you're not quite through. You're not quite through growing yet. You still have a career ahead of you. Stop and think about it. But if that's what you decide on in a couple of years after you have settled, then yeah, we'd be happy to do that. Oh, definitely. I will never stop learning. I don't care how old I am. I don't care if I'm still tattooing at 95 years old. I will never stop learning. If you feel like you know it all and you have nothing else to learn, then something's wrong. You should always, always try to improve your craft and do the things you love and try to get better at that. That's what makes life so enjoyable and so much fun. So you can go and book at our website at goodcattattoo.com. You can book a consultation. You can see there's links to all the artists' Instagrams and Facebooks, so you can go through and see their artwork. My personal Instagram is @tattoos by Jessica Downs. You also see Sweet Ink at the top, which is what I call my tattoo company.
Yesterday I think I found the love of my life, and I'ma treat her right, yeah. Yesterday I think I found the love of my life, but first I gotta say hi. Tried to tell me girls were trouble, but yesterday I seen this one that made the fox double take. The type of chick that looked like she just landed in a rocket ship out of this world. Why ain't they tell me how late college is? Simply amazed being surrounded by some goddesses. Type of pretty make it turn your face up like broken promises. Most of them will leave you feeling salty like a condiment. She's too sassy, man, it's the South. Get some common sense. If you can't take the heat, then drop out of school. I say you could do music like Chance, but you not as cool. If you really bleed and use media, make them follow you. These days, anybody get famous, man, just use auto-tune. But back to the Mona Lisa. These little boys want to lease her, but she's a keeper, no doubt about it. And if tomorrow I meet the Reaper, no need to find something deeper. I look at her and I know I found it. I found it. Yesterday I think I found the love of my life, and I'ma treat her right, yeah. Yesterday I think I found the love of my life, but first I gotta say, baby, I can only imagine what other dudes are saying. Just a bunch of little boys trying to play games. This is serious, promise I'm far from a player. Hey, tell me what's your major? Can I balance your energy? Your voice is like a symphony. Or maybe I can be the Orpheus to your Eurydice. And maybe if you're into CJ, we can take a walk and create an entire universe with only our thoughts. But I hope you know I mean no disrespect. I'm not one of those guys that only want sex. Those dogs that only want fetch. Not me, girl. I like to take the high ground. You know, like Obi-Wan said. I know you don't know me, but I could be your homie. And if you told me you lonely, I'd buy your ass a pony. But probably not. But just if you chill with the fox, time will stop. You'll be wondering why your tick never talks. Yes. Yesterday I think I found the love of my life, and I'ma treat her right, yeah. Yesterday I think I found the love of my life. But first I gotta say, shawty, I've been looking at these pictures of you cyber surfing. If you gon' dump me, flirting don't come through. What's your fantasy? Made me down low, yeah. Gon' make me down low, yeah. Shorty up, shorty down low, yeah. Gon' make me down low. Yesterday I think I found the love of my life, and I'ma treat her right, yeah. Yesterday I think I found the love of my life, but first I gotta say hi.
So I'm Natalie Ortel, and I am one of the committee heads with the Ocean Springs Environmental Alliance.
And I'm Carla Culpepper. I was one of the founding members of the Ocean Springs Environmental Alliance, which is a group of scientists and concerned citizens.
The Ocean Springs Environmental Alliance is really focused on sustainability in our local community and really getting involvement with all of our local community members and really trying to educate people about why it's super important to make good decisions in your everyday life. And it's not just the responsibility of your government, it's also our responsibility. And so part of that mission has led us to develop or bring back the Earth Day event in Ocean Springs, which hasn't really been a thing for a couple of years. And so a couple of our committee members really jumped at this opportunity to bring Earth Day back to our community and really showcase all of the hard work that's happening in our community to make our environment a better place.
April 23rd at the Mary C. O'Keefe Cultural Arts Center from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. We're going to have close to 20 informational booths with information in regards to environmental things, just in like e-bikes or beekeepers. What else? Let's see. Apps you can use to identify plants and animals that you've found.
To really just get people out in the community and really understanding how beautiful the Gulf Coast is, because people sometimes forget oh, I'm not in Utah with the beautiful arches, or I'm not in Yosemite, but we have such a gorgeous environment that we really want people to get out into that environment. So things like iNaturalist and the Nature Conservancy will be there.
Also the National Seashore.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Gulf Islands National Seashore.
So they'll be there too.
You can meet a park ranger. We're going to have a scavenger hunt for children and adults with small prizes, but they can go to the informational booths, get a stamp when they learn some, facts from those booths, and bring back their scavenger hunt card and turn it in for a prize.
And then there'll also just be you can try out the e-bikes. So there'll be lots of opportunities to do things like that. You can talk to the park rangers. There's gonna be bat houses, so you can learn how to actually build a bat house for your own backyard. So there's a ton of really cool opportunities for kids to kind of get involved and really get at the ground level of how cool the environment is. And then we're also going to have a ton of lecturers. Well, not a ton. We'll have 4 really important lecturers going on. So really important people in our community that are going to be talking about things like conservation in your home, talking about architecture and green architecture, talking about microplastics. So really, really interesting stuff for everyone of all ages. Kind of the way that the Alliance started was with a group of people who are really just concerned about the way things were moving in the city, and they were sort of your really experienced scientists that maybe have recently retired or just really invested community members. So some of your older generation really saw a need to step in, and then they recognized that they needed a broader perspective. And so I know Carla joined first and then really started to talk to me about it, and I've always really been super invested in the environment. And I was like, hey, I would love to join this. And so I came in, and I know there was just a really big welcome to having some younger perspectives in the group to really showcase that we all can come to a sort of similar opinion and come at it from different perspectives. And it's been really nice that we've been able to bring in our sort of skill set as, you know, the youth of the group, and, you know, teaching people about social media and how you like do posts and what posts will actually bring people in and what posts will get engagement, and then being able to kind of bring in the younger perspective of what our group wants to see, and not just sort of that older perspective, which it's really nice to see both of those.
And our older professionals and, you know, the concerned citizens, they've been in this community for a while. We're fairly new to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, so they've enlightened us, you know, on the history of the community and when it's up and downs with the environment. And it's nice because they know a lot of people, they know a lot of history of the area, and but yes, we are hoping to, our main focus really is to really encourage the youth, because that's, you know, what we're going to have to have driving environmental changes. And so I don't know that we're necessarily considered youth, but we are the younger crowd. Yes. with the
average age span, we are on the younger side.
Yeah, so, you know, we're really trying to bring in, like she said, social media and get the word out there for events like this, and for all these great community projects and companies that people don't know, you know, are out there. So we wanted to bring them together for an event like this.
And I just think it's really awesome because, like Carla said, the plethora of information that our peers have is just incredible, but we need to make sure that's getting passed down. And so doing something like this and getting the younger crowd invested in these businesses and groups and committee and community workers means that we can continue passing that really important information down and growing people's investment in our community. So we're really excited about that. I know for me, I haven't been hugely invested in this particular scientific community because I moved from working as a postdoc to now I'm a teacher, but recognizing a big shift in our tree canopy in Ocean Springs. I know from when I moved to Ocean Springs, it was such a huge draw for me. The beautiful oak trees, and they just covered all of the streets, and it just really brought me to a place that I felt really like at home, and it felt really comfortable, and it was just gorgeous. And we've definitely noticed as a committee and as a committee of scientists and educated people, we've noticed a sort of shift away from that sort of really important part of our community, which is our tree canopy. And we hope that when we can bring people to the Mary C and they can sit under these enormous, gorgeous oak trees, that we can really start to bring that back to the forefront of like what makes Ocean Springs important and special is that tree canopy, and really recognizing what it does for us and what it means for our community.
I don't think people realize these oak trees can be hundreds of years old, and they need people fighting for them. And, you know, not just oak trees, obviously, but the whole tree canopy of these areas, you know, make our city what they are in regards to the ecology, in regards to just drainage of water. And so it's very important to, you know, obviously we want growth in cities, but we have to keep this tree canopy alive as well to maintain what we are.
Yeah, I mean, I know for me, just living in a hurricane-prone state, how important those trees are to buffer my house. And then, you know, when it's August and it's 100 degrees outside, that big oak shades my house, and it does not get very warm in my house because of it. And then looking at just like all of the ecosystem that's surrounding that tree, like I want to be a part of what protects and preserves it. And I think what our group is doing can help keep that conversation going in our community.
Please go to the Ocean Springs Environmental Alliance Facebook page, and we have an event on there that you can mark that you're interested in or going to, and we will continue posting for the next, you know, couple of weeks until the event. We'll highlight our booths that we will have. We'll highlight some of the lecturers that we will have that we're very excited about. And yeah, so if you like our Facebook page and then, you know, say you're interested or going into that event, hopefully the post will pop up in your news feed. And then again, it is April 23rd at the Mary C from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. There will be food trucks, and the Mary C has been very gracious in letting us use their facilities, their water fountains. That's been a concern for us. So
Bring your own water bottle.
yes, bring your own water bottle. We encourage multiple use plastic or metal.
This is called When the Hammer Comes Down. I've been losing depression weight. I just like to fit right in a suit when the man comes around. I'm sick of these songs and I'm tired of this town. So I'm making my body stay inside the lines. I just like to look good in black when the hammer comes down. When the hammer comes down, a spark will ignite. I'll become something else. For a moment I'm faster than sound. I will lose my old self. When the hammer comes down and my clothes break apart and fall hard at your feet. When the hammer comes down, leave me lying in the street. Hey, if life is a barrel, and as I tumble down the end of its length, it leaves marks on my skin. Then my body grows hot, my head dizzy from the spin. May your heart and your soul be much stronger then. So take me out of your chest, track the patterns, tell me where I was bed. When the hammer comes down, a spark will ignite. I'll become something else. For a moment I'm faster than sound. I will lose my old self. When the hammer comes down and my clothes break apart and fall hard at your feet. When the hammer comes down, leave me lying in the street. Hey, your knees come together, your breath turns hot, your hips spin and you squeeze. If I'm being honest, I don't see the wrong end of that gun. And if you wish to see my better angels, you're gonna need better angels than these. And I don't know that feel, but I reckon it looks a lot like it does when you got that trash in your head again, like a bottle that's primed to explode, straddling a fence across the yard. Don't get me wrong, I know this road's long, and I know that it's hard. But if this thing that we're doing is doomed, what's it for? You can be the gun of the bottle. Once I'm fired, I can never be yours. When the hammer comes down, a spark will ignite. I'll become something else. For a moment I'm fasted